One cannot help but shine in such a splendid outfit.
How do you pronounce this character's name? I've never known. Lachesis. It's interesting because we got FE4 last year as well.
Suspected that all members of House Chalfie received dance training. Of course, so did I.
And Ethelene. Voiced by Allegra Clark. ARD attack speed is new apparently. Okay. Is that Quan?
I am a military man first, not a dancer. So I appreciate your patience.
He sounds a lot like Dimitri. A blue flying bow. Are they all flying? God. This game is so annoying sometimes. Oh well. Lachesis, yeah. And of course.
To dance with you feels as though I've yet to awaken from a wonderful dream.
It's a dream we share together.
Sigurd as a tome unit is interesting. Guilt, Goblet, low attack, res. Destined Duo is a pretty good title, you're right. Moves allies adjacent to unit to opposite side of unit. What? It's like an extra reposition. That's kind of weird.
Let us never be apart.
Of course, dearest.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's a cav dancer. Oh god, there's so much wrong with this.
Dance.
You're right. It's a cav dancer.
Be careful.
Oh man. This unit might be degenerate. I can't confirm yet. Didn't they all have pretty good skills? Who's going to be the demote? Lachesis is the 4-star focus. Didn't she have pretty good skills? She had air orders. And deaf catnip. Interesting. I want to read this first. Oh yeah, also let's see if we can spot our Grand Hero Battle unit. We got, that looks like Eldigan. Or Ares. It's probably Eldigan, right? Because this is like their generation, yeah. They're all flyers, except for Sigurd. We have our first Dancer Cav, and it's a duo unit. Moves allies adjacent to unit to opposite side of unit. If an ally cannot move to the target space, ally will not move. Once used, duo skill cannot be activated again. At start of odd number turns, if duo skill has already been used, unit can use duo skill again. Okay. But I mean, Cav Dancer is super Monka-esque. Yeah, no kidding. It kind of looks like... Oh, so he can't use dance on them because they're not, they haven't used their actions yet. This is a very strong unit. And like I was saying earlier, it's also... Wait, no, it's not our first horse duo unit. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, if he has the 185 dual effect on him, then Arena's about to be ruined forever. Because everybody's going to pull for this guy. Well, damn. Alright, let's start back at Lachesis. She was in dire need of either an alt or a resplendent, so that's good. I know people didn't like her original art. I was never really familiar with the character, so... Courtly Mask. Wait, hold on, what is she? Green Dagger Flyer. Okay. Courtly Mask. At start of combat, if unit's HP greater than 50, grants attack res +5 during combat, and also, if foe can make a follow-up attack, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 50%. That seems pretty good. If foe can make a follow-up attack, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 50%. It's kind of an interesting dagger. It's especially weird on a dancer because like you don't usually use them to like tank hits. Especially like if they're gonna get hit twice. And yeah, he sounds like Dimitri because it's also Chris Hackney, yeah. Yeah, dagger damage reduction is interesting. We got Death Catnip. If Singer Dance is used, inflicts defense -7 on nearest foes within 4 spaces of unit through the next actions. I like these skills, it's just unfortunate that they have to compete with Wings of Mercy and Air Orders. So yeah, having all this on a 4-star unit is pretty cool, honestly, and she's on green. I don't know who in particular I would give Courtly Mask to, but it's there if you want it. And yeah, Wings of Mercy is the best on Dancer units, generally. Not always, but generally. On Peony, I actually keep Aerobatics on her. We got Ethelene, colorless Dagger Flyer. I remember last year when we got new dancers and they were like infantry units, and they had like new BST on them, and like Dancer Nephany was like stronger than the launch archers, even though she was a dancer. Is that just gonna happen again now? Like, what's the BST gonna be on these units? Yeah, 2 dagger flying dancers on the same banner. I mean, this must just work really well. Courtly Fan, if unit initiates combat, grants attack speed +5 during combat, and neutralizes effects that prevent unit's follow-up attacks during combat. Interesting. It's like half of the no follow-up effect, which is pretty good. And she comes with Wind Sweep. If unit initiates combat, yeah. So this combos really well with Courtly Fan. Usually the drawback of Wind Sweep is that you can't make a follow-up attack, right? Wait, no, I'm wrong. If unit initiates combat... Oh no, yeah, unit cannot make a follow-up attack. If unit speed greater than foe speed, and foe uses sword, lance, axe, bow, increase damage, foe cannot counterattack. Yeah, so since you're combining Wind Sweep with Courtly Fan... So what did I miss? You missed, Lachesis and Ethelene. We have a very cursed duo unit here with Sigurd and Deirdre. Cursed in terms of gameplay. I'm surprised she's the first unit to ever get ARD attack speed. Yeah, fighting her on AR defense is going to be super annoying. Grants attack speed +5 during combat and neutralizes effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks. Yeah, I don't know. She kind of plays a mixed role on AR defense in that case, because usually, like, you just want your dancers to dance. You don't even necessarily want them to attack. But I mean, if they're built to attack like Ethelene, then they can do both, I suppose. Joint Drive Speed is back for the first time. If you really wanted to, you could fodder Joint Drive Speed along with either this A skill or this weapon. Yeah. So on Quan, his art does kind of stick out a little bit. I can see that. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's different. Especially that neutral pose. Yeah, attack, defense, bond. I mean, I'm glad they're making more bond 4 skills, I guess, but Unity does seem to be generally better. Although the bond skills, they have this effect on them. Neutralizes units' penalties to attack and defense during combat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really see people running the bond 4 skills. I think more people would run attack speed bond 4 if it was more available. I want to say just Katria has it, although there might be someone else that has it too. Courtly Bow, effective against flying foes at start of combat if unit's HP greater than 50. Grants attack defense +5 during combat, and also, if foe can make a follow-up attack, reduces damage from foe's first attack by 50%. Interestingly, they all have... So Lachesis and Quan have that damage reduction, but then Ethelene has the no follow-up on her. What is that, attack art? Let's see. Let's take a look at that real quick. I like the attack art because it reminds me of Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist. See, look, he's like snapping. He's not even using the bow in his art, right? Yeah, he doesn't have a weapon. What's going on there? Anyway, his other skills. Oh, yeah, what is he? He's a blue bow. Okay. His other skills are fine. Flare formation is obviously good. Yeah, I also don't get why he's on his tiptoes. I noticed that as well. He's like on his 4 feet, if that's what they're called. Whatever, man. Courtly bow is actually pretty good for like the couple of Omni tanks we have that are bow units, although they would usually prefer to just have like Spendthrift bow. But yeah, this is still pretty good. Can't argue with damage reduction. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I already talked about these two a little bit. Frankly, very concerned. A duo dancer who is also a cav. Like, they couldn't just hit us with the duo dancer. It had to also be our first ever dancer cavalry unit. In terms of just pure utility, Sigurd is very useful in the player's hands because, I mean, just like Ryzen and Lian, it's like a dancer with 3 moves, so it's kind of useful universally almost. And unlike Lian and Ryzen, he doesn't even have to transform. I guess what's nice is he can be hit with the movement debuff effects that only affect like ranged units, like the tactics room building in AR, and I think like Loki's weapon has that too. Isolation stonks are gonna go up again because of Sigurd. And yeah, his duo skill basically lets him just, it's almost like dancing twice. Because you can reposition someone essentially, then they can move, then you can dance them. So yeah, Sigurd is high value. I think I'll be using my free summon on red trying to get him. Honestly, I wouldn't even consider fightering him, even though he has like low attack res, which is good. He has attack res bond 4, which is fine. Okay, here we go. Guilt Goblet. Grants attack plus 3 if foe initiates combat, or if foe's HP equal 100 at the start of combat. Grants attack res plus 6 during combat. And also, if foe uses magic, reduces damage from attacks during combat and from area of effect specials by 50%. Okay. He just reduces all magic damage by 50%. That's pretty nutty. I guess that's kind of what Sigurd did in the first place, right? I hated fighting Sigurd so much back in the day. Like literally 3 years ago when Sigurd first came out. Because my Summer Corrin with her Blade Tome couldn't kill him, and it was so annoying. I had to like change my whole flyer team just because of Sigurd. Joint Hone Res is new, I guess. You can get that if you want. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend foddering Sigurd because he's just too useful on his own. Also, I guess because he's a cavalry unit, I guess he's more likely to be like out front, and so it helps that he has a good enemy phase because of this. Attack res plus 6. His defense is probably not as good as his res, but even still. Probably the best duo unit, right? It's kind of a weird argument to make because it's like comparing dancers to non-dancers, but yeah. I feel like in terms of utility, Sigurd and Deirdre have to be the best duo. So obviously I usually only pull for Helios units, so I'm not going to pull on this personally. However, I will probably pull all of the red orbs in my first circle because these two are just ridiculous. Lance Flyer Dancer Eldigan is cool. It is cool actually, you're right. Especially if he keeps the damage reduction effect that's on a majority of these weapons. Yeah. Speaking of damage reduction, like, could you turn Sigurd into like a bootleg Omni tank in Ether Raids since he just takes half damage from all magic? Like if you run into an AR team, an AR defense team that's just like magic users, like an infantry pulse team or whatever, like Sigurd probably just beats them. Well, no, yeah, he can still do self-sustain too, no problem. He can equip Noontime and Soul, just like everyone else, so there's also that. I think if we get another event that's like, whichever unit wins, everybody gets for free, you know? I think if it's like a voting event or whatever, then I think this version of Sigurd has a good chance of winning, or being like a final contender, because he's just really useful and good. Well, alright. I don't have much else to say. I wonder if people will be satisfied with this LeChase's art. Roy Mustang looking ass. I like it, actually. I like it because it looks like Roy Mustang. It's like uncanny, except for the hair color is wrong, and I guess the coat's not blue, but still. Well, I have friends that want to play a game with me tonight, so I'm gonna wrap this up a little quicker than usual. Sorry about that. I'm gonna try and edit this as quickly as I can. But thanks for hanging out, guys. I appreciate it. It's always fun to watch these trailers with you guys. Oh, if you're watching on YouTube, follow us on Twitch. That's where we do the live reactions. And subscribe also. I've been told that you should tell people to subscribe. Have fun with Overcooked. Yeah, we're gonna play Overcooked too. If you're watching on Twitch, go find the YouTube channel. It's called Loopy Black. That's where we upload the abridged versions of these streams. And that's it. I will let you go now. Have a good night.